So today we're going to be using an impact bag. So the impact bag is a super simple tool that you can buy on eBay or Amazon. They're not very expensive, 20 to 40 bucks. And we're going to teach you how to improve your impact, stuff that you can do at home with the impact and make just really simple. You don't even have to have a backyard where you have a net or anything like that. I'm going to teach you how you can fix your paths with the impact bag. I've had a lot of success with that. And also just how you can use it to kind of train your swing, maybe if you want to lag it more, or just you want to improve overall. Super simple device. I'm not even saying you should go out and buy one or anything like that, so this isn't a product review. This is just a simple tool that can really help you start to modify and make your swing a little bit better. As the season winds down, you might think about taking some online lessons. If you like my content and you like how I teach, I offer two different types of lessons. The first one is where you will send me basically a video of your swing. I break it down and then I do a personalized lesson based off of that. The other option is what I do with a lot of my college players is where you do a Zoom or a FaceTime lesson for 40 minutes. And during that lesson, it's basically a lesson that you would get in person, but it's just done through Zoom or FaceTime. Hey, if you're brand new to our channel, just make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy it today. And if you have any questions, leave those down below. And if you hit the bell button, you'll see our future videos that we post. So the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to work on impact by using the impact bag. Pretty simple. So you'll just put it out in front of you. Okay. Most of the time, impact bags are filled with like shirts or anything like that. You can do the same similar stuff with like two pillows and things like that. Before I had an impact bag, that's what I did. It was basically a couch and two pillows, but this is a little bit safer. Okay. So a lot of times when we see people make impact, they get it to the top, and we've all seen that, or maybe some of you experience it, is the early release. So there's just no power into it. You don't hear a thump. You don't see the bag move, right? So if I release it early from up top, like squishes off to the side, it feels terrible. There's no power to it. So with the impact bag, you're going to work on impact by basically taking it back, all right, letting your wrist set a little bit, and then really turning and trying to square it up and smack the side of the bag. Okay, so you just do, right, and you can hear the difference when I do it correctly. There's more of a pop to it, right? You don't have to do it super hard either. You don't even have to do a full swing. You're working on trying to get the club to get into a good position in your body from here to turn it into the bag rather than you trying to hit it with your wrists. Okay, so what it looks like from face on, it's pretty easy. So you put it basically where your ball position would be, swing back, and then when you get the club to here, this is a lot of positions where I like to see people work on their swings from, because this is when their body actually really starts to turn and burn really hard into it. Okay, and we like to see that club lay behind the hands, right? We want the hands to lead the club head into the ball. With basically every club, it's going to be more as you do wedges, and it'll become less as the club becomes longer. But we still like to see that club lead into it. Okay, so you'll feel the club start to have more forward shaft lane. You can make it bigger if you want to. So you can go up here, and if you really want to work on turning and getting into it. Okay, but you don't have to smack it crazy hard. You don't have to hit it like 20 yards. It's not really what it's designed for. So that's just a very simple way that you can work on impact with the impact bag. And so I will have students who struggle with forward shaft lane. I will have them use this bag, and then we'll tape it so they can see what it looks like when they're moving into it, and they start to see this forward shaft lane, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy. And then we add a ball. Okay, so we're still trying to have the forward shaft lane, all right, trying to hit the ball and then the bag. Okay, because really, the highest level players, if you ask them what they look at, the majority of them aren't going to say that they're looking at the golf ball. The ball just gets in the way. They just know exactly what their swing feels like. They know what it moves like, and the ball just gets in the way of the club head. Okay, so they're just moving the swing, and the ball gets in the way. the ball is kind of a blur. A lot of us, we focus so hard on the ball that it, we become so intense on that things start to go bad. So, simple way, you can make it a little bit bigger if you want to. Okay, we're going to hit the ball in the bag. Okay, and then of course, you can take the bag out of the way and tape it again and see if it kind of sticks or if it doesn't. And you look at it, and if it looks like you still have that forward shaft lean, that's great. You can make it bigger and bigger, but we'd love to have that forward shaft lean. We want you to be able to prove it to yourself. I don't want you to get so caught up on making sure everything looks perfect. All right, we just need certain things to be moving correctly. I've had too many golfers who become so centered on, ooh, I got to have that perfect Tiger look. You don't have to have the perfect Tiger look. You just need to hit the ball better so you can shoot lower. Okay. The next thing is for those golfers who tend to slice it. Right, so you're going to set it up to the bag on the inside. Right, and now if you come across it at all, you're going to run into it. So this is about, let's say, a foot in front of your ball. Okay, so if you or anybody who, let's say you didn't watch the first part of this video, but you cast or you swing over the top, you're going to run into it a lot. Okay, so we want you to work on what it feels like to get away from that impact bag. Okay, so we want you to be able to know what it feels like to drop it shallow and still swing over to the right of it a little bit. So we'll check it, and then we'll check the shaft. Okay, should be pretty simple. Okay, and we missed the bag. You can do this, I would probably do it with most irons. Sometimes we use shafts. The only problem is if you smack a shaft into the ground, it hurts. All right, so this is a little bit safer. Okay, so if we're looking at it from face on, just how I set it up, I go about a foot away from the ball. All right, and then just make sure my shaft, whatever angle I set up to it is above the bag versus running into the bag, because then it'll be impossible for you to do it. So to go along with this, just to make sure you're doing things correctly, so our foot, our shaft, pretty close. All right, because you're trying to shallow it out. Okay, so the first thing is I don't want your head moving forward. Okay, so we're going to add this on along with this. Head moving forward causes your body to dive and the club to go left, so your head has to feel like it stays back. Right, and then I want you to feel like your chest, instead of rotating this way, as you swing through, it starts to rotate up. Okay, so as it comes through, slicers go there. They like over cover the ball, and so we want you to feel like your chest starts to rise and go this way. It's impossible if your chest goes this way for you to swing over the top. Now there is a sequence that goes with that. If you wonder what the sequence is, check out some of the other videos. All right, but we're going to take it here. Club gets right here. We practice that, and then body turns. Shaft body starts to extend up. It's that right side bend. All right, the next move that you can do with the impact bag, it's the same, except opposite. Let's say you are too shallow and you get stuck. All right, so now you put it on the outside of it. I'd put it about the same distance, about a foot out in front. All right. This can also be, it's just a very simple way to make sure that when your club, say it's about a club length out, if you're too shallow, pretty simple, you'll hit the bag. Okay, so you just put it on the inside of the bag. I don't really like this because I like to be a little bit more shallow than this, but I missed the bag, so most likely my plane was pretty good. So those are two different things that you can kind of do to help you with your plane, with your golf swing. I've had a lot of success with shallowing out players by using this. Okay. Now when it comes to lagging in the club, this is hard. I used to be obsessed with lagging the golf club. Now I don't really care that much. I just want some forward shaft lean. But you can use the impact bag like this. Okay. So you'll take your setup. You're going to start above the bag, and as you come down, you're going to miss the bag. I don't think I can miss the bag. Ooh, just nicked it. All right, and so you can kind of play with that a little bit as you go. Let's say we make it a little bit easier. So we're going to say 1, 2 feet away from the bag. Going to kind of practice what it feels like to right side bend, get a little bit closer to me. Ah, that was really good. Okay, so if we're looking at it from face on, okay, basically we'll take our 2 feet, all right, and you're going to set up to it, test it, and you can start working on what it feels like. Okay, if you're steep or you release at all, you're going to run into it. Okay, so it's delaying that release, and then at the last minute, releasing it and getting all that speed that you want into the golf swing. So I learned that one a long time ago. That's one of my favorite and least favorite because it is a little bit more difficult, but it really worked. Most of this stuff I have you doing with your irons. The driver shaft might be a little bit too weak, and I don't want you to break your driver shaft. So a lot of this is stuff that I want you to practice with your irons. Comes down, shallows. Oh, chunked it. Stupid dog. One, two, too far from it. So those are my favorite drills to help you with your path, with the impact, with lagging in the club. I hope it helps you hit the ball a little bit.